So we have some few beans that are undergoing process here with the stones around it just to prevent air from going through it. Because whenever air goes through it, the beans will start to germinate. And the farm is already full up of cocoa trees. So we are not ready to plant new trees yet. We take our rye pod and we strike it open. So much that we forget at the root of it all, when it comes down to it, we are African. And we have to accentuate and love our African beauty.
Once or twice a week. And everything's cooked just like on the fire. Like you just wait for the wood to make holes and you cook it right on the fire and everything tastes better. Bribe rookies.
So Philadelphia in America, there are some 7th grade students that have arrived in Ghana to learn about the culture of Ghana and the history and everything about the slavery and even the school system that we have in Ghana. This is something that I think they do each and every year, because last year I remember I shared a video here of this same Philadelphia school also brought some students over to learn about the culture and everything. So I don't want to talk plenty, and also I have some Americans sharing their experiences in Africa, like comparing their experiences in Africa and America. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. Let's go into the video, watch, come back and talk.
Group of 7th graders from History Coming Alive for a group of West Philadelphia school students. A select group of 7th graders from Global Leadership Academy. They're heading to Ghana as part of their Black History Month curriculum, connecting classroom lessons to the continent where so much history began. Wakisha Bailey, live at the school this morning. And as we can see, Wakisha, students and staff gathering ahead of this amazing trip that they have planned.
You know, Janelle, when we say that this is truly a trip of a lifetime, imagine being a 7th grader and going to Ghana. So it's so beautiful to see them right now getting ready. They've got their suitcases. Their parents are here. We're seeing some pom-poms being waved. I mean, this is really exciting, but we want to really talk to the woman who has been behind this from the very beginning. And there she is. This is Dr. Booker. Thank you so much for being with us.
Oh my God.
So Dr. Booker, we're looking at all of these beautiful faces out here. How do you feel 20 years later?
Overwhelmed, excited, just so happy to be in this moment. This is like the pinnacle of what we do and where we are, because going to Ghana, we're now going home, and we have gone to the Bahamas for a number of years, and we see the point of entry. Now we're going to see the door of no return. So the children will see, the scholars will see the connection between home and then where they brought us into the Americas.
So why was it important for you to create a global model where you're taking these kids out of Philadelphia?
Because my scholars, we call them scholars for a reason. We call them scholars so that they can learn and be responsible for their learning. Students are young people that just kind of go to school, okay? So my scholars need to be global so that they can understand the world. And most of them live in a 10-block radius. And so we want to get them out of that radius, show them the world so they can be global citizens, so they can take their mark on the world, so they can be those young people who then grow up to be able to take on city council and the presidency and so on. That's how you prepare them when they're young.
And this is your 20th anniversary. Last question. What do you hope in the next 20 years?
Well, the next 20 years, we hope to open a high school so we can take them to 12th grade and beyond.
I love it.
And so because we stop at 8th grade now, right, and we travel children from kindergarten to 8th grade. And so, you know, we want to keep going. I want to be here for all of it.
And I think you will. And speaking of which, we got to show these beautiful faces. So who's excited to go to Ghana this morning? All right, Janelle. Hopefully, Janelle, maybe next year we can go with them. Sending it back to you in the studio.
As I said earlier, I can go home and pack really quickly if they still need a chaperone. Thank you, Wakisha. And Dr. Booker looks amazing.
We'll do this particular process. You change all the white beans into becoming brown, get the taste and then the aroma. So we first of all harvest the pod from the whole farm, go in for either plantain or banana leaves. Because they are broad, those are the leaves we use for the process. And the process is always done in the farm on the ground. But this is just a demonstration. That's why we are doing it up here. So we have some few beans that are undergoing process here with the stones around it just to prevent air from going through it. Because whenever air goes through it, the beans will start to germinate. and the farm is already full up of cocoa trees. So we are not ready to plant new trees yet. We take our rye pod and we strike it open.
We live better in Africa than you're living in America. The same house in Africa, you wouldn't even be able to be in it in America. You see? So you have help. You have, I've had friends come and be shocked. Oh, you have fancy cars. Oh, you have big houses. Yeah, did you think we were living in trees? We're not.
Can you emphasize on that for me? Maybe if you can go deep into what you're saying.
Well, I mean, they're just surprised at the level of life that we live because they've been told so many things over the years. And it's getting worse now as they're trying to kill Black history in America altogether. But if you even look at the statistics, statistically, most of their physicians are Nigerians or Ghanaians. Most of their people high level doing anything are African people. So, that's why they're evil and salty about it. And now they're trying to, shut down students going and all that kind of stuff because, let's face it, Black don't crack and it dominates whatever it decides to focus on. It's just as simple as that. We decide to play golf, we run golf. We decide to play basketball, we take that over, tennis, football, whatever.
This is a message to any Black person worldwide. I think if you are going on vacation to Tulum and Cabo, that's great. But if you have an opportunity, a chance, a moment to visit Africa, Ghana, Lagos, Tanzania, Ethiopia, then you should take that chance. There's nothing like being surrounded by Black people, understanding your culture, feeling welcome, feeling safe. It's nothing like what America will teach you that it is. It's something that what we learned about is it's better, it's bigger, it's beautiful, the people are kind. So I encourage you to go understand your roots, find your people, and love them the way that they would love you. Wow.
The real conversation surrounding the natural hair, how people are addicted to these wigs, the natural, and they dread wearing the natural hair, is because we assume this Black American culture so much that we forget at the root of it all, when it comes down to it, we are African. And we have to accentuate and love our African beauty. This is why when women have these afros, y'all talking about, oh, we're back to the 70s, we're back to the 50s. Girl, what are you talking about? This is an African hairstyle. This is African beauty. You are African. Like, stop acting like you're not. That's the problem. And I'm not saying that you can't be a Black African American. I'm not saying that. But the problem is that y'all equate this Black American culture to wearing wigs that you glue from ear to ear. Wearing wigs that don't even resemble your hair texture. You're wearing wet and wavy. You're wearing bust downs. You got the audacity to wear a 613. Like, come on, let's be real here. None of which equates to African beauty. It's closer to the European beauty standard. If y'all want to get into it, we're going to get into it. Because stop acting like y'all are not African. We have to get back to the basics. Unapologetically African. Unapologetically Black, yes. But don't forget where we come from.
Gonna need Americans to stop comparing the United States of America to Africa, okay? Because number one, they're completely different. Africa is a continent. The United States of America is a country, okay? If you don't know the difference, I'm gonna need you to Google. So for the most part, everybody in the United States of America is American, okay? Because it's a country. America. So you be American, okay? Are you with me? So our country, the United States of America, is part of North America, okay? Imagine someone from South Africa, right? And they see me and they're like, oh, you're North American. Although I'm from North America, I'm from the United States of America, right? All right. So when you, as an American, you go and you see someone from South Africa and you're like, oh, you're African. Huh? Africa is not a third world country. Africa is a continent. There are countries within Africa, okay? I need y'all to understand this because y'all are getting on this internet and y'all aren't educated and you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And then these South Africans and Ethiopians and Nigerians are eating y'all the fuck up respectfully because y'all are racist and disrespectful.
I don't know, but I know it's weird, but I like it when I hear African people talk and they're speaking in their native tongue, and then you'll hear a random like, I don't even know what they're talking about, but I'm here for it.
My favorite thing to do when I go to other countries is to go to the grocery store and try all the fruit that I can because I want to remember what fruit is actually supposed to taste like. Right now I'm in South Africa and this is my third fruit that I've been trying. And when I tell you these blueberries, you think that you don't like a certain type of fruit, but I feel like you just don't like it in America. You actually do like the fruit. I thought that I really didn't. I love watermelon juice, but I don't like the taste of watermelon. That watermelon, it tastes like it had sugar in it, and it was like a good type of sugar that like made my body like feel regenerative. What else do I have? The oranges were just strawberries. When I tell you, it doesn't make sense. I was on the phone when I was eating them, and I just kept like interrupting the conversation. I was like, these strawberries are so robust. Like, I'm looking back like I had them. The stems were so thick, and it was like it just tasted. I don't know how I'm going to go back. I promise you, most people don't like blueberries, but if you have a blueberry from South Africa, I want to just throw away all my clothes and just bring back fruit. I'm so sad.
The United States today is worse off than a small African country like Rwanda. I know that sounds crazy, but Rwanda has proved itself. Everyone knows the Rwanda genocide 35 years ago when nearly 1 million people were killed, about 1/8 of the country's population at the time. Normally, you'd expect such deep hatred to lead to endless revenge. Then the whole country ended up in chaos. But no, Rwanda managed to let go of ethnic hatred and division. They abolished ethnic classification and built a shared identity as Rwandans. Now look at the US. Gender divides, racial divides, political divides, liberals versus conservatives, and Trump versus homeless right now. You name it. Rwanda doesn't waste their time on ideology. They focus on pragmatism. For example, they believe China's military development and governance are effective, so their army uses Chinese commands, and even street signs are modeled on China's. Today, Rwanda is the cleanest, safest country in Africa, with one of the most capable militaries. We've been heard America is the best, the only beacon of humanity, since we were kids in China. So, who led to the American people and us? In foreign policy, they do whatever benefits Rwanda. At the 2022 Davos Forum, President Kagame was asked, how can Rwanda maintain good relations with the US, China, and Europe at the same time? His answer was simple. We carefully read their government reports. The US wants a model democracy. We showcase women in parliament. China wants a stable supply chain. We build a 24-hour customs corridor for mining. Europe wants climate leadership. We have our environment minister deliver a speech in German. More than half of the Chinese officials have engineering backgrounds. You may not believe it, right? The main priority is building the country. The ones who can talk politics are sent to engage with the US and Europe, handling the endless talk about human rights, democracy, environment, etc. But at home, the government focuses on results, not empty words. That's how Rwanda went from a hell of mass killing to one of the most promised nations in Africa. And what about the US? Where is the future of the American people? Are the streets clean? Do people feel safe? Can they finish paying off their loans? Will they end up homeless? And criminals defined by Trump. Rwanda's governing principle is simple. People-centered. What about the US? Is it centered on money or on Zionist interests? Follow me on Eastern Perspective to see the world.
Things that are better about South Africa compared to America. Just did one of these videos where I compared things that I liked better about the USA compared to South Africa, and now I'm gonna do the other way around. Braais and braai culture. It's a braai, I feel like, is similar. You would like the same as like a barbecue, but I just feel like a barbecue isn't like a culture or a way of life in the States, you know, like you fire up the grill and you have a hot dog or something and like that's a barbecue, but like South Africans take braaiing so seriously, and like they have a braai like honestly like once or twice a week, and everything's cooked just like on the fire. Like you just wait for the wood to make holes and you cook it right on the fire and everything tastes better. Braai rookies. brukis are better about South Africa. I've never had a bruki before, and it's literally just like bread, mayo, chutney. Oh, chutney's better too. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. Chutney, onion, tomato, salt, pepper, bread. And then it's roasted on the fire. Delicious. Delicious. And South Africa has chutney. Mrs. Ball's chutney. Yeah, that's good. Okay, I have to find something that's not just food related. Let me think here. Healthcare. Healthcare. I don't know a ton about the actual, like, health insurance, like that side of it. From what I see, like, it's pretty decent, but going to a doctor or trying to get a service in the United States is a nightmare. It's so expensive if you don't have good insurance. It's so hard because you have to go to a doctor that you don't actually need to go to in order to get a referral to the doctor you want to go to. When, like, you know that you need to see that doctor, but some other doctor has to tell you that you can go there. So then you have to spend more money on a doctor that you don't need. When, why can't you just make an appointment with a physical therapist? That's baffling to me. I have a physio and a bio in South Africa. I go to them weekly, bi-weekly, because I have a torn labrum in my hip, and I get dry needling, exercises. Like, it's been incredible and so helpful to me. And I probably pay like $30 a visit because I don't have any health insurance or anything. It would be even better with health insurance, but that's just out of pocket. I have to say the weather. I used to love 4 seasons. I don't feel that way as I'm getting older. A week or two of winter and I'm done. I'm freezing. I'm in the States right now. I'm freezing. South Africa is just always warm. It gets a little cold in the winter, like chillier, a little colder, but we haven't seen a positive weather day in the last week here in Wisconsin. So South Africa's weather is better. Okay, I don't want this to get too long, so that's all I'm gonna say for right now. If you want to hear more, I have them, so let me know. Okay, bye.
Americans, when you go to South Africa, there are some things that are going to blow your mind because they're so much more advanced than what we have in America. For instance, the banking system. It will blow you out of the water. I mean, just get rid of your checks and your abacus and go to their amazing app and see all the amazing things that you can do that we cannot do in America through our banking. But there is another one that I don't think people talk enough about. And it's something that the government years ago decided we need to do something to motivate people so that we can help the economy, help people get to school, help people get to work. And they were like, but we need to do this so that it's off the grid. It was one of the first sustainable systems of its kind in the world. And it's a national system all devised to help people get going in the morning. No, it is not a cup of coffee for everyone first thing in the morning. Well, that would be lovely. No, it is this. Free.
So I woke up to a video where some set of people, right, were like saying how the Americans don't know that Africa is not a country, because the Americans always think, most of them always think that Africa is a country. And she was like saying Africa is like saying the States. And then someone repeated that word in the comment, like saying Africa is saying the States. And then there was someone who replied saying, let's be honest, America is as big as Africa. What? Just because the Africa is shrinked on the map doesn't mean it's small. Africa is 3 times bigger, in fact 4 times bigger than America. That's why sometimes it's just best to mature if you don't know it. And
I can survive out here, and it's simpler here. It's way cheaper to live here. Why do you think people in third world countries be living so long? I just met a woman who was like 90-some years old, bro, because they're eating natural. They have real life trees they can go and pick from. You can't do that in America, bro.
You know, honestly, I think this is something that I really applaud and I love, because when you talk about African Americans coming to Africa, mostly they wait till they grow up, they hit their 40s, 50s, even 60s before they decide to do what? Move to Africa. But giving these kids this opportunity to learn at a younger age about Africa and also the culture and school system and everything that we have in Africa is a beautiful idea. Trust me, it's a beautiful idea. We've been having a couple of students, let's say tertiary students, that sometimes come as volunteers to teach, do other like certain programs in Ghana and some other African countries. But this is like black kids. This is like black kids throughout. They coming to learn about the history and everything, the slavery, everything about Ghana. And I really love this, because listen, if we don't start with them at a younger age like this and we just leave them till they grow, like they wouldn't really grow to understand how life actually is, because so many of them have actually grown up and they have a different mentality about Africa, whatever. But bringing them firsthand to come and experience something like this is so amazing, and I really love this for them. At least they coming to see Africa. iShowSpeed was here recently. I'm very sure they follow iShowSpeed, so imagine they also coming here to experience it at first hand. This is so beautiful, and I really wish this continues every year. Now Ghana has actually become a pilgrimage for Black Americans or African Americans, so every year we see them coming. Not long ago we had about 500 women, African American women, coming in to also visit and learn about the culture and everything. So this is the thing, and this is the way to go. Thank you so much for watching.